Hello again, Doc on the clock with more MaternalBound Redux. So, we're going into this cave now. It's a dungeon. It's a dungeon that has moles. The mole playing rough can kind of do some damage. We don't want it to do damage, so we need to be hitting it until it stops doing that. Oh hey, we actually got some HP. And Eve's primary PSI function is offensive, but she does have one particularly good defensive capability. And that is the Psychic Shield. That blocks PSI attacks, as we saw when BuzzBuzz did it. Having that available to us is very nice. I will be using that at times during the game, although not at the moment, because there isn't a lot. We don't have a lot of offensive PSI attacks, PK attacks to deal with. It's supposed to be PK, but I'm used to PSI. Here we have Mr. Batty. Mr. Batty appears in a row. We're going to use PK Fire. PK Fire attacks an entire row. We really didn't need that, but we did it anyway. So the moles playing rough and the Mr. Baddies in this dungeon have a very strange move, and that's to size up the situation, which causes them to get confused. Why? I have no idea. That was not the most powerful of the power level ups that I've ever had, but alright. I want that great charm. Equip it on Doc here, because it boosts his speed a little bit. Yeah, it's only one defense, so it's not really going to make that much difference for Eve. But Eve's speed goes up quite a bit faster. And the main character is a little bit on the slow side. So a little bit of speed boost is not going to be a bad idea. It's not going to last forever, because it's an equipment that will be replaced, but it's good for now. So yeah, I don't know why they decided to give the enemies a move that only works to their detriment. Ouch! I'm glad that hit the teddy bear and not anything else. But yeah, this game has some odd decisions sometimes. And as I mentioned, getting lots of IQ points, not a lot of health. That is kind of an issue. She can be a little bit frail. It's particularly bad when enemies hit hard, and there are a lot of enemies that hit pretty hard around here. Fortunately, Doc is over-leveled, so that's helping out a bit. Okay, let's see, which... Okay, now we want to be a little bit careful. The Mighty Bear. Mighty Bears are strong. They do a lot of damage. You do not want to let them survive for long. And that's why. That's the risk you have to take when you attack some of these enemies, unfortunately. Okay. So because Eve is down, she's not getting any experience, obviously. That kind of reduces or eliminates the division, so Doc is going to get all the experience from this. Which isn't ideal, but it is what it is. And yes, I do have a revival item, but I'm not that far away from from town. Really should just use the hospital. Confusion can cause you to attack your own teammates. That works for enemies too. They will end up doing that a lot more often than you will usually. You don't get confused terribly often in this game. Most of the time, if you're going to be confused, it's because of something other than brain shock. Brain shock doesn't tend to work very well. Alright. That was a rather long and unfortunate detour, but we'll be able to get back there. I need to make sure I have money, though. So yeah, if someone is knocked out, you don't talk to the doctor, you talk to the nurse. $110. I think that remains pretty static throughout the game. So, yeah, just make sure you have a little bit of cash on hand if you have an issue like that. We'll heal up a little bit. And then I will get us back to where we were in that cave. So, I'll see you then. Alright, now we're back here. A close call getting on the way here, but all is well. And, on top of that, I did gain one thing. This is the second level of the main attack. We're going to use it. And we're also going to use freeze. A little bit more impressive animation. Of course, I am doing that because there's a magic butterfly right there. Oh hey, freeze beta. Get that PP back up and get down here where we fight against just a bat, thankfully. Less concentrated enemies are, the better off we are. And the more often we get the green swirls, the better as well. Oh, here. Okay, we did at least blunt the effect of that attack a little bit. Eat the cookie. Eat the bread roll. Those are less than necessary items to hold on to. Alright, let's... Oh dear, we've got kind of a lot of enemies up there. I want to be heavy on the PSI here. This can do a lot of damage. It's surprisingly powerful for this point in the game. That's useful, but it's also expensive, and considering that this is your primary healer we're talking about, you don't really want to waste waste a lot of PP on the attacks if you can avoid it. I have a lot of healing items. We're gonna go for the life up. Wolves, thankfully, aren't that big a deal at this point. It's just the bears I want to watch out for. Oh, jeez. Despawning enemies can be kind of dicey. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You're gonna make me do this again, aren't you? Not that I really want to, but for the sake of survival. Sometimes you have to make a few sacrifices. What's this? This is another sanctuary location? Who could have guessed? Alright, we've got this boss here. What are we up against this time? Is it another giant ant? I think I can take out a few giant ants. Ooh. It's a giant mole this time, and that's a lot of blood. So this guy can be extremely dangerous. Can be. He isn't. Because we have paralysis. So defend just in case. Paralysis in this game is a very powerful status effect. It literally blocks every single physical action you can do. you can still do psychic attacks, but Monomole here doesn't have any offensive PK abilities. So he's gonna do offense up here and there. I think he has life up, but he can't do anything with that. He's a sitting duck. And thus, by doing this, you render him essentially one of the easiest bosses in the game. All you need to do after that is just whack away, and that's it. He is not vulnerable to freeze, so it's kind of important to do it this way if you don't want to have a bad time. That wasn't even a power level up, that was a pretty powerful level up. Like, yeah, he's just level 23. Gained a lot of stats for an off level. Alright, and we have here the Lilliput Steps. Are all of these places going to be footprints of some kind? Guess we'll have to find out. Alright. So, we have gained more power. And another eighth of the song. But it still doesn't sound very elaborate at this point. Maybe eventually. Now even the bears are running away. You know you're powerful when you've got bears running from you. And being able to get in first on them means they're essentially free experience. I'm not going to go out of my way to attack all of the enemies, just a few of them. If they're more or less on the way, it's not really out of the way, is it? I can use a couple more levels here and there. Especially if it gets me PSI Magnet. So, as I mentioned before, Magnet is a draining technique. That means I can regain PP using that if the enemy has any. It's not a lot. I will be more waiting for the Omega version of that before we do a lot of that. Because that catches every single enemy. And that can actually be a pretty good yield. Okay, let's see. Try fire, but it really isn't that strong at this point. You need an enemy that's particularly weak to it. Better levels will of that will come, and that'll be more useful. This is, at this point, more of a supplemental damage type of thing. That'd probably be good against the sprouts. You're not going to give me any enemies, or... Any bears or anything here? I guess those are only deeper in. Okay, I'm just going to rush up to another bear. Because I want to show off PK Freeze beta. It costs 9. I didn't even get to use it because I got a critical hit. Gosh darn it. My luck is so bad that the good luck comes at the worst times. Alright, let's try this again. And now she's doing faster. That's a lot of damage! That's almost 300 damage. There will get to be a point in the game where you will use PK Freeze Beta pretty much regularly. Because it's relatively inexpensive. And it does quite a bit of damage to a single enemy. Okay, fire seems like it might be useful. Why is the bat being friendly something that stuns me? Nice job! Stop hitting yourself! Stop hitting yourself! Oh, you stopped hitting yourself because you got knocked out. I didn't mean to go that far, but, you know, you are my enemy, so... Okay. You can live. You cannot. I didn't get green on you? I'm pretty sure I was hitting your back. This is a nice frill, I will say. It does take some of the work out of going after the weak enemies. Alright, so we are done with Happy Happy Village. We don't ever need to go back here again. Same is not necessarily true of other areas of the game that we've been to. But for Happy Happy Village, it is. As well as, you know, Grateful Dead Valley. So that's what we're going to call it for now. That's all for me for now. Until next time, this is Doc. I'll see you later.